Welcome to October, everybody, as we're about to take it to the Mikestand. Everybody shout! Come on, let's hang out. It's time for the groovies to get together. You're gonna see how funny they can be when it's time for the Groovy Ghoulie Show. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? You got some work to do now. Come on, Scooby Doo, I see you pretending you got a sliver. And you're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know you got a mystery, so Scooby Doo, be ready for your act. Don't talk back. And Scooby Doo, you better have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? You're ready and you're willing. 'Cause we can count on you, please, Scooby Doo. We know you'll catch that villain. Hello, looks like we have one other person in here. Hello, second person. How are you doing tonight? How's your day going today on this first day of October? You know, I guess if you're going to be lurking around, so be it. uh, we're going to wait a few minutes, see if we can get some more people in here before we get started. Basically, couldn't really find a whole lot of news items tonight aside from, of course, the history stuff they'll do towards the end. I do have an announcement in regards to the show. Again, I'll wait. I'll wait till more people are in here, so I don't necessarily have to repeat myself. Um, hey, Woody, how you doing, my friend? Let's see. Nobody here but us chickens. Yeah, nobody here but us chickens. All right, as Jonathan Winters put it in Scooby Doo, the new Scooby Doo movies. Um, Casper, the friendly ghost, friendliest ghost you know. Yeah, so um, basically, I'm just doing and we got Dave Marks in the house. Howdy, do all. Hey, Dave, nice to see you, my friend. Just waiting for some people to get in before I really get going. There's couldn't really find much news tonight, so it's going to be more of kind of a looser, like niche talk night. Whatever crosses my mind, we'll talk about. Do have the history stuff all set up already. I do have an announcement in regards to the show here, in regards to some guests that did confirm, but I'll wait till we got more people in here before I make that announcement. Um, so how are you guys doing tonight? How'd your day go today? Happy October as well. Let's see now. Scooby Dooby Doo, looking for you. Okay, let's see. I just watched two MMA fighters stop fighting and smile at each other because a guy in the crowd yelled, "Kick!" Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's a nice little sentiment to send across. Yeah, kick him in the nether region, kick him in the nether region, down low, down low, down low, low, low. Uh, yeah, that does. It actually kind of reminds me does kind of remind me of a very interesting scene from an anime called Anonymity's in the house. Hey, Anon, you're here on time tonight, huh? Hey, evening. Hey, evening. Hey, Anon. Let's see. And Anon. I'm off. Oh, so this is actually one of the nights you're actually off work. Yeah, so now we're up to four people. Let's see if well, let's see if Bat Goat and ATC. Let's see. It's what we're at. We're at the 6 minute mark now. So we have four people in here now. So guess tonight I'll give it until about 10 minutes into the stream. Then I'll go ahead and just get started. Um, Always nice, Anon. Hmm. I'm just glad you're able to join us. On time. You catch more of the show that way. Um, Scooby, Scooby Doo, da 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 da. La 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 la. Hey Scooby, where are you? I'm over here. Let's see. So let's see. Yeah, so we're into October, obviously. So I'm getting into the mood there. Even though here in Southern California, we're still hitting 100-degree weather during the day. How are your days going these days, guys? As we head into October here. So is anybody experiencing fall yet? It's a great pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. You're such a clown. That Charlie Brown. Why is everybody always picking on me? Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. You're such a clown. Yeah, Charlie Brown. Why is everybody always picking on me? They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The monster mash. Uh, Not Scooby, but I literally just watched the South Park where they had corn on like in a mock Scoob and the gang. Yeah, those meddling kids. We got five people in here now. Hello, fifth person. Welcome to the stream. See, she's gonna wait another minute. Here, looks like we're packing it in. So, oh, and they left. Sheesh. Ah, can't even express how happy you are when people come in. Let them being run off. Bat goat's here. Yay, bat goat. Bill Nye was screaming climate change, talking about Los Angeles weather. I think that's a regional issue because I had a nice cool day yesterday on the East Coast. Yeah. Walks in the classroom, cool and slow. Who calls the English teacher Daddy-O? Oh, nice little rhyme there. Nice little rhyme there. Bat goat, do 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 do. Bat goat, do 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 do. Bat goat, do 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 do. Bat goat, do 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 do. Bat goat, bat goat, bat goat, do 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 do. Bill Nye is a blithering idiot. Well, I think all the climate change guys are blithering idiots, but it's another tale for another day. Sup, and Dave. Oh my God! It's Batgoat swoon. uh, Bill Nye. I wish I still only knew him like I did when I was a kid. Charlie Brown. That was that was from the song Charlie Brown you were singing. Laugh out loud. Hmm. Okay. Woody. All right, so we're past the 10-minute mark. So, and we got 5 people in here, so that's good. I'm glad. Thank you guys for coming in tonight. Um, so here's what's on tap. Unfortunately, I was not able to find any news stories today. There wasn't a whole lot, I guess, going on. You know how the news cycle sometimes it goes up and then down and then up and then down. It's like we had a lot of good stuff over the last couple of days, so it's gonna slide off a bit. So we don't have anything on the news front too much there. Let's see. I do, however, have an announcement in terms of the live stream of course the mic stand here. Um, I did get confirmation for some guests for the 30th. You can always talk about. Yeah, I know. uh, um, and shut up, Dave. Uh, okay. Anyways, okay. Seriously though, I did get some confirmation on some guests for the third. So I do have confirmed guests for the last Friday this month, the 30th, the day before Halloween, and so I can announce that. We'll have the Knuckleheads back with us to talk Halloween each. Maybe talk some Halloween cartoons, Halloween specials. Figured with the day before Halloween would be nice to have them back and just talk about you know their experiences growing up with Halloween, how where they're at now with Halloween, and talk Halloween each, like Halloween specials, Halloween cartoons, you know, um, obviously stuff, obviously like Scooby Doo and Casper the Friendly Ghost, and all that good stuff. So, big announcement here: the Knuckleheads will be here the 30th to join me for the mic stand. So, Knuckleheads, Chris can tell us go. Yeah, maybe we'll have her do that. That go. Maybe we'll have her do that. We'll see how everything goes out. But I did get the confirmation yesterday from them, so we're all set then. Hell yeah! So I do have some. I'm still working on some guests for the 16th. I still got to get the final confirmation. Should hopefully hear back from that. When I understand, one person I talked to needs to talk to the other people. Going to talk to one of them tomorrow, so I should hopefully get a full confirmation. If not by tomorrow, then sometime over the weekend here, and I should have hopefully that taken care of by next week, and I'll be able to announce it. If I can't announce it tomorrow, then I can announce it sometime next week. So be the first time we actually have 2 guests in a month. So I don't have any guests for tomorrow, unfortunately. ATC, hello, my friend. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. Yeah. We're gonna be. Hey, toys. Good evening. Yeah. Wow, we got 7 people in here to eat. Wow, cool. That's a good high for us. Welcome to everybody in tonight. Hope you all enjoy the stream. We're gonna, as I said tonight, I just made the announcement. We're gonna have the Knuckleheads on at the end of the month. For those who didn't just hear that, I know some of you were coming in as I was making that announcement. Where, of course, back down to 6 again. Um, let's see. Um, Sorry I'm late. My sugars were a tad high. That's okay. You got to take care of yourself, right? Oh, bummer. You good now? Um, that's kind of interesting. I heard somebody knocking at my front door, so Don't know what's up with that, but my family will probably get that. So, anyways, I guess it's somebody from my dad. It sounds like so. Anyways, um, so we're today is the first day of October. Um, so let's see. There are probably a number of things you just start talking about. Um, let's see. Your fashionable late in action. Uh, Still high, but feeling better. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me high. Okay, so let's see now. Well, with this being October, and usually Halloween month, a number of things we can talk about. But I think a good thing to talk about tonight. What do you got? And you guys gonna have to excuse my dog there. I guess with somebody, whoever just came, because I had to put my dog back in my sister's room, which happens to be next to mine. So you might hear some barking there in the background. So, I think a good thing to talk about here on this first day of October is now I'm sure Batgoat and I'm sure Batgoat and Woody probably are more aware of this. I'm aware of this, having grown up on it as well. Back in the '70s, there were a number of cartoons that Hanna Barbera did that collectively became known as those meddling kids. Okay, you know, was usually in the majority of the cases there was a group of teenagers that got together in some form or another, end up solving crimes and mysteries. They'd have an anthropomorphic character, meaning basically an animal that kind of stood upright and could talk and all that. Join them. Of course, the first and most famous was the Scooby Doo gang. Scooby, Freddy, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy. Of course, there are others like Jabberjaw. Jabberjaw was one. Let's see, Josie and the Pussycats was another. Albeit, their creatures, well, even though their creatures didn't exactly speak, um, they still seem to act human a lot. There's Speed Buggy, you know. So there were a number of them. Clue Club. So what I want to hear about from you guys is if you did grow up watching some of those type of cartoons, those meddling kids type cartoons. What were your favorites watching growing up? What were And I know a lot of you have been commenting here the last few minutes, but and anybody can jump in. Anybody who wants to jump into the conversation can comment. So, what were your favorite those meddling kids cartoons growing up? First off, let's start and look back at the comments that have been made here. See, yeah, we were rough. Let's see. Laugh out loud. I follow. Dystopian future. Yay, Scooby! That one with the talking shark. Jabberjaw. That was Jabberjaw, Dave. The talking shark was Jabberjaw. Josie and the mean kitty cat. Mean kitty cat. That was Alexandra, of course. She was basically Josie and Alan were the main couple there, and Alexandra wanted Alan, who was the brother of the other guy, the guy who kind of looked like Shaggy. Um, but she wanted to she wanted to get with Alan and Jolie and the Pussycat. Jabba 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 jaw. I know a few of you have commented since, so let's see now. Yeah, Jabberjaw was dope. I like Jabberjaw more than OG Scoob. I like Captain Caveman, which loosely fits in that genre. Yeah, because yeah, you're right. Because there was another one that was, I think, there in the late '70s. Captain Caveman and the Teenagers. Captain Caveman. Captain Caveman and the Teenagers. That was another one. You're right. Ghostbusters. I thought that Extreme Ghostbusters was fun. Yeah, you can kind of call that one. Well, those are more adult though. Would Captain Planet count? Not in this case. Captain Planet was more of a superhero genre one. You know, the whole idea about kids actually combining their powers to bring about a super. That wasn't. That would. I don't think that would fall exactly because that was more straight up superhero. Also, if you remember those meddling kids, those were more comedy action or comedy drama types. So, um, Ghostbusters, the original show from 1975 with Larry Storch, the filmation, yeah, the live action one. Larry Storch, the two guys. Larry Storch is the one I remember. And you had the ape character in it as well. Um, that one could, well, that one I don't think would count either because in that particular case, the characters were not kids, they were adults. But um, who knows what I'm asking? I do. I'm actually looking up the topic on fandom.com. Yeah, there are a number of good pages on there. I use those a lot. Um, I know the Ghostbusters that aired in the '80s. Yeah, well, the '80s Ghostbusters is based on the movie from the '80s with Slimer. That's we've talked about that before. That's why they started using the term like the real Ghostbusters because to differentiate from the earlier series Ghostbusters. Also, one of the other ways they differentiated the two, Filmation's Ghostbusters was written as two words, whereas the real Ghostbusters, I think, was written most of the time as one word. So that's another thing to take into consideration. This is bringing up memories I didn't realize I had. Well, that's one of my goals here too, Dave. Is particularly when we don't have anything to talk about, to spark conversation by bringing up niche topics that maybe we don't get to talk about as much. All the craziness of the world. Sometimes it's nice to look back at our childhoods and remember the good old times. I remember coming home after school and turning on the TV and catching some good syndicated cartoons, or waking up every Saturday morning, whether it was in the '60s, '70s, '80s, and just getting excited about watching your favorite Saturday morning. As you're sitting there in your PJs and you got your bowl of cereal, whether that was like Cocoa Puffs or Fruity Pebbles or Count Chocula or Cookie Crisp or Frosted Flakes, and just be sitting there watching some good old fashioned cartoons. Underdog, Underdog again was more of a superhero one. Not really fits into the those meddling kids genre. Let's see. Effing Goober and the Ghost. That one would count, Dave. Goober and the Ghost Chasers. That one is another one. Let's see. Oh, there's another one that I just realized too, and I think it came out in 1976. The Funky Phantom. That one was a pretty interesting one. You had a ghost from colonial times teaming up with kids to solve like mysteries and stuff. That was a pretty interesting one. I saw it in later years. Wow, we're really getting a good conversation going. You guys are really going at it. Underdog wasn't an HB joint, and yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. There wasn't Hanna Barbera. It was earlier than Hanna Barbera. I think it was like 50s. Wow, I really lit up a conversation, didn't I? Look at this. You get ding ding. You got it, Mike. Yeah, I know my cartoons. Yeah, the real Ghostbusters was the best cartoon easily. Um, let's see. I vaguely remember a theme song for a season of Josie and the Pussycats in outer space. Yeah, I think they modified the first one to just kind of more incorporate the outer space part of it into it. Let's see. Saturday morning cartoons was a thing. We all did it. Yeah. Um, Kind of funny because I think they finally came to an end. Unfortunately, I think in the mid 2000s, if that. That was due to the advent of like a lot of the specialty cable channels and all that. You know, they actually started to kind of die off in the 90s, but then finally came to an end. And I think it was by 2010. By 2010, the whole idea of Saturday morning cartoons is just done with. But a lot of that was due. Some of that was due to some of the stuff they were doing about like probably government trying to make networks now have more educational EI programming on there. You know, plus you did have the advent of a lot of specialty channels like Cartoon Network, like Boomerang, Nickelodeon Network. Even though some of these stations had stopped, but you still had, of course, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. Um, And in recent years, of course, you'd have like Cubo, Discovery Family, and all that joining in the mix. So, Frankenberry and Count Chocula cereals. Did you get to watch the Wacky Races? Yeah, Wacky Races was an interesting one. Well, even though it doesn't fall into the those meddling kids genre, that was an interesting show too. In that it actually spawned two spin-offs. Spawned The Perils of Penelope Pitstop and Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines. Those two cartoons were spun off from Wacky Races. Oh wow! So I don't think it was Hanna Barbera, but I think it was mid 90s. There was a show called Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century. That's the show that really introduced me to Sherlock. Yeah, that one wasn't Hanna Barbera. That was on. I I do. I didn't watch it myself. I know it was part of the Fox Kids lineup, and that was, I think, mid to late 90s. Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Let's see. Dang it, Woody! Now I'm gonna have to pick some up. They make both of them for Halloween season. Frankenberry and Count. Well, something, back goat. I think that's a good thing though that you want to pick them up because that's another something that's another experience you can share with your grandkids. Introducing, you know, introdu- you know, introducing them to those good cereals from back when you were a kid. That would be another good way to introduce to your grandkids. Some of that great stuff of the past. Um, ha ha ha! I remember Sherlock, 22nd century. Yeah, I would think that was more your time than anything else, anonymity, as compared to the rest of us. I think you're one of the younger ones in the room here. Yeah, Wacky Races is on Prime. So dope. Yeah, and I do know they've come out with some newer versions of it. Like I know that there's a newer version of Wacky Races. I know, of course, we've talked about the newer version of She-Ra before. I know there's a number of series that they've made newer versions of Bug, Looney Tunes, all that. So I'm aware of that as well. Let's see. I might have to get Prime. The announcer in the beginning is so 60s, it's pretty funny. Okay, let's see what else you guys are saying here. If you like cartoons like I do, Prime is necessary. I hate giving Bezos money, laugh out loud. Wherever you can find it, wherever you can find what you want. Bezos is a China sucker. Uh, he really sucks. I hate that Prime is so good. And Prime has the Twitch partnership for stream parties. I love the damn stream parties. Yeah, I know that um like Flash, Nick Rekieta do a lot of those. Let's see. Laugh Olympics had characters from Wacky Races as well, but they changed the names, right? Um, yeah, somewhat. Laugh Olympics ran for one season. I think it ran in 1977, kind of a follow up to, the Olympic season. And they actually had a number of, you had three different teams, of sets of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. You had like the Scooby Doobies, the Yogi Yahooies, and the Really Rottens. That was the third team. Really Rottens had I think instead of having Muttley, it was Mumbly. And I think Dick Dastardly was actually the Baron in that. You had another group that looked kind of like the Gruesomes from the Flintstones cartoons, but just more evil. Then of course you had the Scooby Doobies led by Scooby Doo, and then you had Yogi Yahoo is led by Yogi Bear. So um, let's see. Dick Dastardly in his flying machine is definitely referenced as um, Sebula Sebulba in Phantom Menace. Okay. Uh, think so, Woody? That's cool. Uh, stream parties are so dang fun. Totally agree. All right. Say, Ricada is starting horror movies tonight. Should be some great ones to for October. Well, yeah, I mean, October. With it being Halloween month, that's when you are gonna get a lot of good horror movies. Or some darker movies. Another darker movie that I know of is of course the Crow movies. Those were good. You know, first one was probably the best. Obviously, the original is always the best. You know, driving faster in my car, falling farther from just what we are. Smoke a cigarette and light some more. Conversation skill, falling faster in my car. Time to take her home. The head is contemplating. That's my rendition of Stone Temple Pilots' Big Empty from The Crow, from the movie The Crow. So, anyway, let's see what else is. The Creepies were the Gruesomes, I think. Yeah, the Gruesomes. I see Adams Family. Yeah, Adams Family. Actually, the Adams Family made a guest appearance on the new Scooby Doo movies in the mid 70s or 73, 74, around there. Um, the the Mysteries Inc. gang was brought in to try to track down Wednesday, who they believe had been kidnapped. So you had the late great Ted Cassidy as Lurch, and you had the live action members of the Addams Family TV show providing the voices. That Ted Cassidy, providing Lurch's voice, who also provided the voice of like Black Mana and Brainiac and Challenge of the Super Friends as well. With a very deep, monotone voice. Oh. Um, I see that too a bit. Um, Probably influenced those animators. Scooby Dooby Doo, looking for you. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? All the stars are here, waiting for you. Couldn't have a show without ya. Scooby, Scooby Doo, Scooby, Scooby Doo. Da, 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 da. Sorry about that. Usually turn off the screen, but I guess I just kind of. Yeah, so let's see. We're having a good old fashioned discussion tonight on. Let's see. Um, there's also, of course, Fang Face and Fang Puss. That was another good one. I think that one was actually done by Ruby Spears, but that was also in the same kind of genre. And every time the human form of Fang Face would see the full moon, you'd see his eyes kind of start twirling around, and he'd spin around. Uh, Scrappy was lame. Well, why was he? Why was he lame? Are you talking about Scrappy that was portrayed in Harvey Birdman, or what? You talking about Scrappy when he was portrayed? Of course, Scrappy Doo was voiced by Lenny Reinrib, who also voiced Hunk in the Voltron cartoon, and was also, I believe, Batmite in the New Adventures of Batman. But Fang Face was funny. Didn't he eat Shaggy style mega sandwich? Yeah, Fang Face I think did have kind of a big appetite. You know, you know, let's see. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, but you have to think about Fang Face is a werewolf too. It's like much like in Scooby Doo. It's like you have this big sound. It's like, oh, whoa, So, let's see. Let's see what anonymity has to say here. The Scrappy duo from the Scooby cartoons was like a lame ad on for no reason. Well, I don't know. I think it added some, particularly when they actually put Scrappy with Shaggy and Scooby in their own series, the Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo show, um, because it did show a bit of a dichotomy there. You had Shaggy and Scooby who were very cowardly, very scared of the ghost. You had Scrappy Doo like all like this, come on, let me at him, I'll splat him. It's like that part was funny. It's like, and then you see Shaggy usually grabbing Scrappy, let's get out of here. They're all running. See how their legs are spinning as they start running off. Agreed, the dumb one. What was his name? Oh, well, if you're talking about the Scooby Doo series, the dumb one was actually Scooby Dumb. Scooby Dumb. If you're talking about the one who was kind of, you know, dumb, that was Scooby Dumb. Okay, Scrappy was the little puppy. Was a little He had the pork pie hat and the vest. Yeah, that was Scooby Dumb. That was Scooby Dumb. It added more toys for marketing. Yeah, that's true. Laugh out loud. Exactly. Scooby Dumb. Laugh out loud things. No problem. Yeah, you had Scooby Doo, Scooby Dumb, and Scrappy Doo. Now, I know Dave will probably pick this up because I know he's a bit of a word guy like me, and I know, and I'm sure like Batgun Woody would probably pick this up as well. Part of the reason, of course, they named Scrappy because he was kind of a scrappy kind of dog. Scrappy. The term scrappy means somebody who is like a bit of a fighter. In boxing, they call a scrapper somebody who's kind of just hangs in there, like Rocky from the movies, may be considered a bit of a scrapper at times. So, anyways, excuse me for a moment. I go off screen here. Yeah, so I mean, you know, it's Scooby Doo, Scooby Dum, and Scrappy Doo. Well, look, think about how long the Scooby franchise has lasted, though. It all started back in 1969 with Where Are You, Scooby Doo? That was the first one. And then we get the new Scooby Doo movies in like '73, and then of course Scooby would start making more appearances like in Laugh Olympics and all that. And then then you start getting introduction like the new Scooby Doo show, I think in the late '70s, Scooby and Scrappy, and then of course you'd have the newer ones in the 2000s when they'd start bringing them back as well. Let's see what you guys have said here in the last. Yeah, he was a scrappy little guy. I just didn't like the character. I thought it was too over the top. I guess I can see your point there, back out. But I think again it was in a way part of it was is also to provide counterpoint. Why everybody else was saying we should run from the ghost, Scrappy's all sitting there all ready to fight him. So I think it provided an interesting counterbalance, to the other characters. Scrappy was a Napoleonic complex character. Ha ha ha! No, he was a fun one for kids, the brave. Yeah, and anonymity. I know too that I know actually Cartoon Network kind of even spoofed that a bit. There was, I guess, an episode, kind of a kind of a graphic episode too, of Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, where they had where they and this was pretty gory, you know, where they had Birdman's Hawk Avenger scoop up, Scrappy, basically killing him. And then throughout the rest of the series, Scrappy's corpse was Avenger's plaything. So, well, that's kind of sad. Somebody left us, down to 6 people now. That's kind of sad, but anyways, I had a youth pastor who spoke to me at length about why he believed Scrappy ruined Scooby. I don't know. We got the seventh person back. I don't think you ruined Scooby Doo. I mean, Scooby Doo was still fairly popular even with him in it. So, um, Scooby Doo's name, I have assumed, is a reference to the scat phrase sung by Fred Astaire, um, in Strangers. Could be. That could be. I mean, if you want to make another connection there, the leader of Mystery Inc. is also named Fred or Freddy. There's another reference to that. Maybe there's a whole lot of Fred Astaire references that maybe we're not all, as aware of. No, really, that's funny. I heard a story about Smurfs being banned by some more strict Christian communities because they used magic. Yeah, I could see that. I could see more of the fundamentalist movements. Obviously, well, the Amish don't even have TV, so they wouldn't even watch it. But maybe more of the like stricter fundamentalists would problem. I mean, but if you think about it, they wouldn't just have an issue with Smurfs, and they'd have an issue with a number of different cartoons. They'd probably have issues with like Gummy Bears, Snorks, and the like as well. Um, Fred Astaire, Sinatra. Duh. Yeah, I guess even I didn't pick that up, but Frank Sinatra actually. Sinatra, I understood. Agree. I always picked up on that too, even as a little kid. Hmm. Scooby Dooby Doo, looking for you. Couldn't have a show without you. Scooby, Scooby Doo. I know, like Batman and Robin guest starred on the new Scooby Doo movies a couple of times. I believe Sandy Duncan did as well. Do you know as I mentioned, the Adams Family guest on there one time. Genie and Speed Buggy also guest on there on the one time each. So you didn't just have live action stars, but you had some other Hanna Barbera characters guest on Scooby Doo as well on the new Scooby Doo movies. Um, Great, I always picked up on that. Okay, yeah, we got. And of course, for everybody in the chat, we have 7 people here, and I know, and I know most of you have spoken. If we have, for those who haven't spoken yet, don't be afraid to jump in. You're always welcome into the conversation. As you can tell, I usually will reply as quickly as I can if I see something, in particular. So don't be afraid to chime in and add to the conversation. We always try to have fun here, right, guys? Whether we're covering niche news topics or we're reminiscing about the good old days. I can't find Snork streaming anywhere. I may have to pick up the DVD season um, 2. I'm going to teach my grandson about physical copies, and I'll report back to you guys. All right. Right. I don't know if that was a deliberate misspelling or not there, Dave. Maybe you're trying to say it as Scooby would. Right. Uh, well, we're back down to 6 again, unfortunately, but it's kind of sad, but still appreciate the fact that they were in here. Hopefully, they'll come back. Um, let's see now. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? Casper, the friendly ghost, the friendliest ghost you know. He romps and sings. Let's see. Aye, mate. Sailing the high seas. Oh, we got our 7th person back. Yay. Uh, I've been watching too much Sherlock, no such thing. And now I'm typing with a British accent. Uh, yeah. Hmm. Inspector Gadget. Do 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 do. Go, Gadget, go! Go, Gadget, go! Yeah, of course, Inspector Gadget, voiced by Don Adams of Get Smart fame, and he also did a guest spot on the new Scooby Doo movies as well. So as kind of an exterminator. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I know there were some other ones like Clue Club was one. Oh yeah. Not as much with the anthropomorphic character, but there was Charlie Chan and the Amazing Chan Clan, in which um, solving mysteries, solving more crime mysteries than anything else. Um, starring Charlie Chan, who was a famous actor there in the '70s, and he had all his kids helping him out as well in that cartoon. It also reminds me of another. Well, this one isn't as much those meddling kids. It's another Hanna Barbera production. This kind of a superhero one. Hong Kong Fooey, number one super guy. Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than the human eye. Chugga 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 chugga. That's Hong Kong Fooey. Right at ya. Uh, I used to love the Casper Scare School series. 6, 7 years old. Um, it was on Netflix and went away like all of their good programming. Penny from Inspector Gadget was a very early crush. I always liked a smart girl. Yeah, I think we've all had our fair share of cartoon crushes, right? Um, some form or another. You know, Josie and the Pussycats. They wear tails and ears for hats. God, Godwin. Josie and the Pussycats. Come on, everybody, shout! Come on, let's hang out. See, I mentioned the Inspector Gadget on Netflix as well. Both of those shows are Canadian. Yeah, actually, kind of funny. I saw that early today. I was looking up some stuff for this day and age history back out, and I came upon it that Inspector Gadget was actually originally done in Canada, or portions of it were at least. Canadian studios are top notch for modern cartoon. Well, Deke Entertainment, I know, was based in Canada. Deke Entertainment, gave us a number of great cartoons, including like Fantastic Max. Deke Entertainment was the studio that did the first dub of the Sailor Moon series, the edited version one that a lot of people were upset about. I'm not a furry, but Gadget from Rescue Rangers. Yeah, she was kind of yeah. Again, I'm not a furry either, but then again, that's kind of the neat thing about anthropomorphic characters is that they are almost kind of human. You know. Yeah, I kind of thought Gadget was cute too, in a way. Um, and Cindy Bear, of course, was sweet. Um, yeah, Deke is still putting out some good stuff today. Yeah. Well, Deke is still one of the classic studios that's still active today. You know, a lot of their stuff gets played like on Cookie Jar. Well, I know it's no longer called Cookie Jar Entertainment. I know that that moniker has been kind of retired, but um, I like the mom in Goof Troop as far as non-human character. Yeah, she was nice too. Um, let's see. Yeah, I mean, Demona from Gargoyles was an interesting one too. You know, props to anybody who could have tamed Demona. Goliath had his hands full with her. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. Or to the Goof Troop, cause we always stick together. Yeah, we're the Goof Troop, best of friends forever. Yeah, we're the Goof Troop, and we always stick together. Yeah, we're the Goof Troop, best of friends forever. Now we're calling everyone. Come along and join the fun. Report to the Goof Troop. Da bop bop boo da doo bop. Oh yeah, tailspin. Oh yeah, tailspin. Look through life too thick and thin with another tailspin. Excuse me one more moment, gentlemen. So, okay, oh yeah, we're coming up on the hour mark already. We've had a good conversation tonight, guys. I'm happy that we've all been able to engage here. You know, um, let's see. My roommate um, is going to drop Disney Plus when we're done watching new Mando season. Um, I'll have to sneak in more Ducktales or original before it goes away. Was your I guess is your roommate not happy with back is your roommate not happy with Disney Plus? Now, Grant, I have heard, I know even Yellow Flash was, I guess, talking about some criticism. Well, I know people have been all over Disney and Disney Plus, not just for the TV stuff, but for a lot of the woke garbage. So, excuse me one more time here. Anyways, uh, yeah, so let's see now. Neither one of us watches it, waste of money. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you got it and then you're not really watching it, I mean, probably I don't know if they're putting programs on that maybe you just don't care for. Maybe you were hoping to watch, maybe older stuff as opposed to newer stuff. Maybe that I could see that. Excuse me one more time here. All right. So we're kind of at a standstill at the moment. Let's see. What else can we talk about? The Backgoat has added something here. Let's see. Netflix may go away as well. YouTube TV and Prime might be the only winning combo. Yeah, I mean, well, and I think I mentioned this yesterday too. There are cartoons that were banned, like from the '40s, like some old Popeye cartoons and Betty Boop cartoons, and like a lot of the older cartoons in like '30s, '40s, and '50s that were banned that you can actually find on YouTube. All you have to do is type in banned cartoons, and you'll have like a whole list of them that you guys can check out if you want. You want to go back and try to track down some banned cartoons. So, um, anyways, uh, let's see now. What else? What else can I talk about here? I talked quite a bit about those meddling kids cartoons. See. Let's see now. Let's see. Okay, I got another one I could ask. Let me ask you guys this, because let me mention this too. Now, for the most part, we know that DC over the years, DC and Marvel, many of their superhero characters have been adapted into like cartoon series for television. But were you guys aware that many of the of many cartoons, many particularly kind of Barbera cartoons, also Walt Disney cartoons, many of those cartoons were also adapted into comics. You know, I know like the Flintstones was adapted into a comic. I know you guys should be somewhat aware of it because I've made mention of these before too. In the this day and age history, like the Flintstones is made into a comic. Of course, Archie comics. But I think Archie was another one that started out, you know, in the comic form first, then transitioned to. I know Filmation did, some Archie comic adaptations. Casper the Friendly Ghost was became part. Let's see, Casper Friendly Ghost and Richie Rich became part of the Harvey Comics lineup, um, along with, of course, Casper coming from Harvey Comics. They also include like Baby Huey, Little Audrey, um, Madcaps. Let's see, Mohair and Tommy Tortoise. So let me ask you guys this: if you guys, first off, have you guys read some of those adaptations um, in your life? And if you have, which are your favorites? Um, so if first off, have you ever read some of the comic adaptations of some of the cartoons you grew up with? And if you had, um, what were your favorites? Vaguely. Kind of transition into some comics talk here. Never actually read any. Yeah, I don't know if any of us did, but I think I'd just throw that out there, see if anybody did and wanted to share their experience. Because because in like when I've gone back and looked through old comics too, I know like for example, Charlton Comics for a while did a number of Hanna Barbera comics. Um, I know the Hanna Barbera. Well, that was DC, of course, but um, the Super Friends cartoon got adapted into a comic as well. I know that much. Let's see, I actually liked Archie and Sabrina comics when I was a kid in the '70s. Hated the shows. Yeah. Um, yeah, I know that the show, like the Archie show, Archie's TV Funhouse, they had a lot of musical stuff going on there as well. Of course, it was kind of one that was kind of geared towards like slice of teenage life, romantic comedy stuff, just as it was in the comics. Yeah, so of course, and I did now that I think about it, I think in the early 2000s, and I don't know if this is Filmation as well, or another company did this, but they did do a newer Sabrina the Teenage Witch cartoon in the early. In fact, actually, back in the I think in the '90s, there was a live action. There was a live action version of Sabrina the Teenage Witch with, of course, Melissa Joan Hart, Caroline Rhea. Those are the two actors I can um, sit there and specifically remember from that from the live action show. Um, so I had forgotten Sugar Sugar actually hit the pop charts on the radio. Yeah, from the Archies. Yeah, that's right. You're right there. Sugar da 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 da. Ah, honey, honey da 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 da. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Sugar da 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 da. Ah, honey, honey da 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 da. You were my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Of course, that type of pop music was known as bubblegum pop because it's like you'd expect, you'd see kids, blowing up, bubblegum and, hanging out at the soda shops and all that, rolling around on roller skates, you see this in Happy Days, you see it in Archie's and all that. So, um, let's see. Yeah, that was a big show in the day. Hmm. Yep. Yep. So, ah, honey, honey, da 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 da. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Bazooka Joe comics. Um, yeah, I know there's a bubblegum called Bazooka Joe. I actually do know because I know that Quality Comics did a comic, or I guess it was based on the original comic strip. They adapted it for comics. There's a comic called Joe Palooka about a boxer. You know, that one was pretty interesting. Tiny comic strip and a pack of bubble gum. Um, I love Caroline Rhea for being the voice of Linda Flynn Fletcher. I love Phineas and Ferb. Gonna watch the whole series for the third time. Mm, mm. Lassie and the Rescue Rangers. Everybody shout. Come on, let's hang out. It's time for the groovies get together. You're gonna see how funny they can be. Well, it's time for the Groovy Ghoulie Show. You know, what's kind of funny too is there were a number of cartoons that also gave us some radio hits too. You know, we were talking about Sugar Sugar a few minutes ago. Not just cartoons though, TV shows too. Like I think the theme song from The Greatest American Hero hit the pop charts as well. Joey, I think Scarberry was his name. Look at what happened to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. Should have been somebody else. Do, 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 do. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. I'm flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. And then, of course, there's some other, other like songs that maybe didn't make it up the radio charts, but are still fairly memorable, like the Spider-Man theme in the '60s Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size. I put Smurfs over P&F, but not by much. P&F. Hmm. Don't know what you're referring to there off the top of my head. Mickey Mouse Disco, wild hit of the '70s. They sold over 2 million copies. Um, 2 million albums, I mean. Um, sorry, went outside, about to hang out with my neighbor for a bit. All right. Now, actually, I am reminded of something. And Bat Goat, you might remember this. I don't know. Woody would remember this. Bat Goat, I think you might remember this. Action Toys might remember this as well. Do you remember when Mr. T had his cartoon? I don't know if I still have it somewhere, but Mr. T had a cartoon, um, and then with that cartoon, they made an album um, for kids, and they had a number like "Don't Talk to Strangers," because you might never know who you might be talking to. Don't talk to strangers. Phineas and Ferb. Okay. Um, I'll get really annoying with the Doctor Doofenshmirtz Doofenshmirtz quotes when I start watching it again. Yeah. Alvin and Chipmunks got a few on the that's right. Witch Doctor is probably their most famous. I saw the Witch Doctor, right? And he said, I was in love with you. I saw ooh ee ooh ah ah zen ba ba da bing bang ooh ee ooh ah ah. Actually, there were two Alvins. There was the Alvin show back in the early I think 60 or 61. There was Alvin and the Chipmunks in the '80s. Alvin, Simon, Theodore, and then of course the '80s brought us the Chipettes as well. Oh, it looks like unknown existence. Hello. I'll get to your comment in just a moment, young man. When I hear that song now, walking on air, I think of the dog meme. Let's see now. Witch Doctor is so good, though, just a classic. Let's see now. Wisdom Dog. Um, all right, hey everybody, we have somebody new commenting here. Unknown existence. Hello. Welcome to the Mikestand. How are you doing tonight, young man? Um, hey everybody, give this guy a holler. Welcome him in. Hey there, Mike. I remembered you saying you did your own streams in Toy Bounty Hunters, so I came to check it out. Well, thank you for dropping by. I hope you've been hope you like what we're trying to. Normally I usually will do a niche newscast. I usually will like read some news articles from Bounding into Comics. I do cover like the different types of niche anime, cartoons, comics, manga, and even some pro wrestling. I just couldn't find anything tonight, so we're just kind of having a hangout session, just what I call niche talk. We're just kind of randomly picking topics. I started out with like those meddling kids, like Scooby Doo, some of the stuff that came out from Hanna Barbera in the '70s. But again, thank you for dropping in. I hope you enjoy the stream. Hope you will. I hope you'll enjoy it enough to. Wow, we're up to 9 people now! Yay, 9 people! Can we get the double digits tonight, guys? I hope we can. But anyways, unknown existence, welcome. I hope you enjoy the stream, and I hope that you'll enjoy it enough to where you'll consider coming back and joining us again. Anyways, let me get to some of these other comments. Howdy, unknown existence. Yeah, everybody. Let's try to make unknown existence and make the new people feel welcome. I hope we can do that. And I'm sure we can. Um, hey, unknown existence. Welcome to our little den of geeks. We're just chilling tonight. Normally, there's news articles. Yep, yep. Comics, anime, voice actors, cartoons, and wrestling. Thank you guys. Thank you, my moderators, for helping it. What I hope we can do is I hope that when we do have new people come in, like we have 8 people in here right now. That's a high. I think we did have a ninth person in here. So I think we hit a new high since the Mikestand started of 9. Actually, no, I think we've hit 9 once before. We hit last time we hit 9 was during the Knuckleheads last stream. In fact, I think we did get up over double digits. Let's see if we can get to double digits tonight. If hopefully everybody's been sharing the links and we can get some more people in here. So let's make them feel welcome when they come in. Yep. So let's see, we're at the hour and 18-minute mark. Excuse me for one moment. I gotta go off screen for just a sec here. All right, I'm back now. So unknown existence. I hope you're still in here. Um, Is there anything that you would like to ask or offer for the conversation? Is there anything you'd like to talk about or ask about? Is there anything you'd like to add to our little discussion here? You're always welcome to do so. You know, um, let's see. Yeah, sometimes the comments come up faster on YouTube than they do on StreamYards here. Let's see. Dave Marks, non secular. The Russians have developed a new powered exoskeleton to reduce strain on soldiers in combat. We're falling behind. Um, unless we're hiding Spartan armor at Area 51. Well, we kind of knew that by 2000, people would be starting to develop some interesting sci-fi stuff there, Dave. So, excuse me, one more moment, guys. Ah, looks like Unknown Existence does actually have something to add. So that real life Titanium Man coming soon. Yeah, interesting comment there. Unknown Existence. As I remember back to the as I remember back to the hearing about the Crisis on Infinite Earths in DC Comics, I know that it was supposedly from Earth, I guess R, maybe, which is our Earth, where Superboy Earth Prime or whatever, where Superboy Prime came from, who developed into Superman Prime. Um, Exosuit have been around for decades. The problem is the cost manufacturing them. Yeah, they could probably be a pretty penny price there. I thought the strongest backpack legs is an American company. Um, we're getting close to the Call of Duty exoskeleton garbage. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, excuse me one more moment, guys. Sorry. Anyways, okay. Hey, at Mike. Hey. All right, we already got to that. Titanium Man was supposed to be Russian counterpart to Iron Man, right? As I remember, yeah. Now, granted, I didn't read the comics, but I did. I do remember Titanium Man from the Iron Man cartoons of the 1960s, the Marvel superheroes cartoons. I do know Titanium Man was one of Iron Man's enemies, and I believe you're right. He was the Russian counterpart to Iron Man back then. Whiplash. Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest wheels as Iron Man. All jets aflame, he fights and fights with repulsor rays. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. That's funny from Dave Marks. Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest wheels as Iron Man. All jets of flame, he fights and fights with repulsor rays. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Anyway, so yeah, we're at an hour and 24 already. A good discussion tonight. Um, I'm looking at Titanium Man right now, looking like Doctor Doom ripoff. Yeah, Doctor Doom, the Fantastic Four villain, arch villain. Does anyone remember Roger Ramjet? I don't know if I actually saw him, but the name does sound a little bit familiar, Woody. I think I may have come across that name before, but I don't know if I ever actually watched him. I remember Roger Rabbit and Jessica Rabbit. I'm sure a lot of people here know of and remember Jessica Rabbit all fairly well from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I don't feel like I should. Hmm. 125. Yeah, the Fantastic Four had like Hanna-Barbera did a version of Fantastic Four in like 1967, and then they had another series I think in 78. Well, DePat Frailing did a series, the new Fantastic Four in 78. But let like Unknown Existence had something. I remember a decade ago how many people were upset over the Punisher being turned into a Frankenstein monster, but that was a lot cooler than the stuff we get out of Marvel now. Yeah, well, again, unfortunately, Unknown Existence, the modern culture wars going on. It's like a lot of these artists, even when the writing is clearly on the wall for them, can't seem to get the idea that yeah, you get woke, you go broke. Nobody, the idea of escapism is that you want to escape the crap of your everyday life. Okay, I myself, if I could sit there and open a portal and go into the DCU, I'd sure as hell do it. I mean, I'd love to sit there and I'd love to sit there and find myself like on maybe Paradise Island slash Themyscira, and hang out with all the Amazons. You know, um, like to be sitting there in Gotham and watching the Batman like kind of swoop over. So, but yet these clowns don't seem to get that. They want to just want to try to push into your head. They want to try to force you to change your mind, and that's just why they're failing. Roger Ramjet looks conspicuously like another famous stuntman, Evil Knievel. There is a possibility that Roger Ramjet could be a like maybe an anthropomorphic imitation of Evil Knievel. Again, I've never seen Roger Ramjet. Based on your comments there, I'm guessing that's what it. Evil Knievel, the Canadian version. You got me. Um, yeah, well, as long as they're not jumping the shark, then and that's fine. We got 8 people currently in here. Thanks everybody for coming in and joining. Happy to see you. Now I know we've had some newer people come in. He's from the latest Toy Story. Okay, I know and it looks like we lost somebody. That's kind of sad. I hope Unknown Existence still in here, because I know we have some newer people who've been in since I made this announcement earlier. For the newer people, I got confirmation earlier. I will have a guest on the 30th. I will have the Knuckleheads in on the 30th of this month. I'm still working on getting some guests in for the 16th. I just got to wait on final confirmation before I announce them. But for those of you, I will have the Knucklehead. For those of you who didn't hear earlier, I will have the Knuckleheads in on the 30th of this month. That's 4 weeks from tomorrow. So hope you guys will come back and look forward to that. I am okay. I am. Yeah, it's like I see people coming in and out. I don't know who's in and out. And since I don't, I have my regulars there. A lot of my mods there, who are regulars. Um, Also, one other announcement why I've got a lot of people in here too, particularly for the newer people. Um, Now, for Unknown Existence, for anybody else here who is new, as you guys know, I have subtitles on each of these episodes. I like tonight is Thursday Thrive. On Friday nights, I have the subtitle Friday Night Forum. Now, normally I try to get guests in, but when I can't, I open up the studio to you guys to come in and talk, to be part of the show with me. I open up the studio to let you guys come in and, be part of the studio and, be part of the show as well. So just a heads up, unknown existence. If you do come back tomorrow night, and you would like to join me in the studio, you're more than welcome to. I will be putting the links up at various times of night. If you'd like to join in as well, for anybody, and that goes for anybody and everybody who'd like to join in. You guys, and those who are my regulars know this. Know so I don't have a guest. I will be putting the link to the studio up. You guys will, if you would like to, will be given the opportunity to join me in the studio, and will be a chance to commentate on the news stories and whatever else we do. Whether or not we're talking like this or what have you. So just heads up for the new people so they know what's going on. You're gonna hit us with some history. Yeah, actually, I was just thinking because we're past the hour and 30-minute mark, and we've talked quite a bit tonight. So I think it would be a good time to start thinking about wrapping up, Back Goat. I always will do history, but sometimes I got to gauge it depending upon my own energy level and all that. So let's. Um, I usually watch RGE on Friday, but since he saves his streams, I'll watch later and come here. Okay, I mean, I do save mine too, but I always like to try to get people in for the live, for the live. But as I said, if you're welcome to join us if you'd like, and you're welcome to join us in the studio. So um, cool. That we'll see you here then. Yes, I will. I will look forward to having you here with us, unknown existence. So, anyways, and since Bat Goat asked for it, and we are past the hour and 30-minute mark, so we've gone through quite a bit of stuff tonight. So, and here's another little thing you're gonna find out. Unknown existence is also part of my show too. I do a segment at the end called "This Day in Niche History." It's basically a "This Day in History" segment, just focusing more on niche topics. So hopefully you'll enjoy what I found for tonight. So is everybody else ready for this day in niche history? I know Bat noted. Who else is ready for this day in niche history? See what the responses are. A woot from Bat Goat and Woody ready. All right then. So I know that, as I said, the ready from Woody ready there, and Woot from Bat Goat. Okay. Um. All right then. So let me just review the stuff so I know what order to put them in. Okay, remind myself what order to put them in. Let's see, 1990, 2000. This one's from 2015. Okay, so we're ready to go then. We are ready to go. I just got to bring up the share screen here. And of course, Dave Marks. Hey, hold on. What happened today? Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. Back go, not. I'm sorry, Dave. Even my head's a little twisted right now, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's first off. So today is the first day of October. Today is Thursday, October the 1st, 2020. Let's take a look back in time to what's happened on this day in niche history. First off, we're going to go back 40 years ago today. 40 years ago today, The 1980 version of Astro Boy made its debut on Nippon TV on this date in 1980. On this date, 1980, the 1980 version of Astro Boy would make its debut on Nippon TV in Japan. It would, of course, later on come to the States in first off in 1983 on ABC. Um, but on this day in 1980, the 1980 version of Astro Boy made its debut on Nippon TV. So on to the next piece of next piece of history here. Then let's see now. Okay, so on this date, 30 years ago, in 1990, the 260th and final issue of Casper the Friendly Ghost from Harvey Comics went on sale. On this day, 30 years ago, in 1990, the 260th and final issue of Casper the Friendly Ghost from Harvey Comics went on sale on this date in 1990. The series gone all the way back to it started up in 1958 and would finish up here in in 1990. So that's like what, like 32 years. And I know there are a lot of comics that run longer than that, but that's still pretty impressive. So on this date, 30 years ago, the 260th and final issue of Casper the Friendly Ghost went on sale on this date from Harvey Comics. Let's see now. I always figured Astro Boy inspired Mega Man, and I do love Mega Man. That could be true. Um, I can neither confirm nor deny that myself, but um, anyways, moving on to the next piece of history then. Um, let's see. Anarchy rules. And for the unknown for unknown existence and some of the other newer people here, just a reminder for you guys. I start my stream at 7 p.m. Eastern, or I'm sorry, 7 p.m. Pacific, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, um, 11 Atlantic. I don't know where you are, what time zone you're in, unknown existence, but I start 7 p.m. Pacific. Then you can probably figure out. But in case it's like 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain. So, anyways, so on to this next. Excuse me for one moment, guys. I gotta go off screen for just a sec. All right, I'm back. So, anyways, on to the next one for the wrestling fans in here, for the pro wrestling fans. Um, on this date in the year 2000, 20 years ago, from the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, Minnesota, ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, would host its Anarchy Rules pay-per-view on this date 20 years ago today. In the main event saw Jerry Lynn defeat Just Incredible to win the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Also on the undercard, Rhino would retain the World Television title from in a match against Rob Van Dam. And the FBI, known also as the Full Blooded Italians, a tag team comprised of Little Guido and Tony Mamaluke, would retain their title against the team in ECW that was known as the Unholy Alliance. Yoshihiro Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck. This is, of course, not to be confused with the tag team of Big Show and The Undertaker, who also went by the name The Unholy Alliance. This is the one from ECW. So on this date, 20 years ago, East Extreme Championship Wrestling hosted its Anarchy Rules pay-per-view from the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, Minnesota. The main event, Jerry Lynn defeating Just Incredible for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Rhino retaining the ECW World Television Championship in a match against Rob Van Dam, and then FBI, the full-blooded Italians of Little Guido and Tony Mamaluke, basically fending off the challenge of Tajiri and Whipwreck for the ECW World tag team titles. So, so let's see. Okay. I know 10 for me. Okay. Eastern time. Roger that. I'm Central. Yeah. Yeah. I usually make sure I hit all the major ones in the states here, just because I know you guys are all over the. I know 2 or 3 of you are probably on the East Coast. One or two of you are Central. So I try to make sure every time zone is represented, so you guys know when to come on. So with that, so we have one more piece of history to go through. Able to hit all 4 of the major topics. On this date, 5 years ago, 2015, as you guys can probably see right there, DC DC Supergirl, DC Superhero Girls made its debut on YouTube on this date 5 years ago today. On this date 5 years ago today, DC Superhero Girls, produced by DC Comics and Warner Brothers Animation, made its debut on YouTube on this date 5 years ago today. DC Superhero Girls, of course, were focused on some of the female DC superheroes like Batgirl, Catwoman was part of that too. So anyway, so that's all that happened on this day in Nietzsche history. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Then Gelf stumbles in, and we're a global community. Yeah, I hope he will join us at some point. Again, I'm sure, yeah, he for him though. I know it's pretty much the next day. It's what, like 11 or 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, 12 noon tomorrow afternoon. So how did everybody like the stream tonight? It looks like we had a few more people tonight, so that's good. More people in on the conversations and all that. And I hope you guys are making the newer people feel welcome. Very cool, great stream. Thanks, Mike. No problem, Batco. I'm always happy to do it. It's always great, especially when we get people in here, especially when we get new people in. And I hope the new people will join us again. Don't forget, tomorrow night I'll be opening up the studio for anybody who wants to join me. You can join me, and whether if I have news stories, we'll go over the news stories together, talk about that stuff. We'll probably get into some niche as we always do. So I hope you guys have had fun tonight. I hope to see every one of you back here tomorrow night. Maybe even get a few more and see if we can start getting closer to double digits. So until tomorrow night, guys. Bye.